Hey guys, welcome back. I'm sitting here with two important things. This is an HPI Nitro MT2. I did a video on this previously. I paid less than $100 for this. This car is in pretty good shape. And this box, you know what? What's in this box, I wonder? Well, I'll tell you this. You see the shirt I'm wearing? This is probably what I used to wear in, let's say, middle school to high school. And this RC is about from the same era. I'm surprised I found this old shirt. It's still in really good shape, element, right? That's when I used to think I could skateboard. So let's take a look at what's inside here. Okay, here we go. This is what it looks like, right? Let's look at the body. Oh, well packaged. This is some type of, it's a Chevy Monte Carlo body. Clearly a touring car sedan. It's in pretty average shape. It looks like it has some kind of undercoating sprayed inside and some kind of a plastic stiffener material over here. Interested to see what the chassis is, right? I mean, I know what it is. Let's see what it is. We have a JR XR2i remote control. This is one of the better radio controls from this era. It is an AM system, so you know what, not the best, but the antenna seems to be in full working condition here, which is nice. It looks like it's missing battery cover, which is kind of a problem, you know, but I pretty much assumed that it was missing that because I did see this tape in the listing from one of the pictures. Oh, look at this. It's the HPI Roto Start. So yeah, that's right. If you would have guessed by now, this is a car that is running a nitro motor. The question is, which one? All right, here we go. Oh, there it is. You could have guessed it. That's why I have this blue one here on the table. It's another HPI MT2. This one is a little bit different and unique, and the main reason I purchased it is because I really like the aluminum upgrades on this chassis. As you can see, it has a full set of front aluminum A-arms, also matching rear A-arms. It has aluminum shock towers, front and rear. These are really nice. Obviously, these standard HPI shocks, which I really love. I mean, look at the suspension travel. You know, these things are really smooth for being pretty much a 15-year-old RC. That's why I'm wearing a 15-year-old t-shirt. But you know what? I have a couple options for this one. I can either really get it running and stick to the original Nitro drivetrain, or I can convert this to run a basic 10-scale electric system. This is going to be really easy. I considered using a T-Max, but the issue with the T-Max is it'll need a lot of further modifications, mainly a reverse elimination module or kit, and probably a single-speed transmission. So the T-Maxes are a little bit more cumbersome to convert to electric, but something like this, which has a single speed here on the bottom, basic drivetrain through the spur gear, you know, really easy to just stick in any 540 sized motor. That should be no problem. Some of the other modifications I could tell that this chassis didn't originally have after I consulted the original HPI website. This thing had originally fixed lengths in the suspension. This one looks like it either has painted aluminum, or this could be the Lunsford titanium links. I'm not sure. I remember during the era of these RCs, Lunsford titanium was pretty much one of the best upgrades you can get in terms of any of the metal parts. I even used to buy some of their parts for the drivetrain. They were really expensive. This RC has painted dog bones. Pretty sure somebody painted these silver. It looks really nice. Originally, these were just black, but I really like the way this thing looks. Here's a shot of both of these together. Yeah, this one was clearly heavily modified. Whether the modifications were good and bad, I'm not quite sure. But I gotta tell you, I love that this one is stock, and you could even see that it has the original front bumper set right here. This one has no front bumper at all. You know, look at that. It's like basically a hole right under the body itself. You know, I'm not sure if I'm going to modify that or not. I could pick up a cheap bumper set. There's parts for these readily available for about 10 bucks on eBay. You get a complete set of plastic parts that you might need, which is really why I like buying these older HPI RCs. These wheels, right? So these are the Traxxas Jado wheels. They're very good for high-speed runs. So you know what? This might actually be a very good platform for a basic brushless conversion. That might be the way to go here. I'm not quite sure. Another main reason I bought this particular one, and I don't know if I told you guys, I paid about $100 for this with free shipping. It was actually a little bit more, but I had an eBay coupon, so you know, I'm all in about $100 here, which is quite a deal. I'm not gonna call this a really good deal that I usually try to hunt for, but this is worth basically what I paid for it, I would say, in my opinion. Another reason that I needed this was basically because I needed the roto start. So this HPI here has a roto start engine, and I don't have the roto starter. So basically I needed this whole system here. Surprisingly enough, this is actually pretty expensive. On eBay, these are easily over $40. Basically just put in any battery here. I have no issues with that, but you need this shaft. You need the starting shaft. You can use a drill instead of this, but generally these are sold together, and I really had a hard time finding just the actual starting shaft itself. While looking over the chassis, you know what, I probably should have been a little bit more careful in the eBay listing itself. The description was really well written, but there's already a couple issues I can see here. I'm missing the radio tray cover right here, so the battery cover is missing. I did check eBay, and a lot of the parts from the HPI RS43 do fit. The whole radio tray set is about $10, so that's not the end of the world. I can buy that. The air filter, you know, it's missing an element. If you look at it close up, there's no element in the air filter. I can't just stick a regular piece of foam in there, so it's, you know, it's usable at best. Best case scenario, you know, I'll basically just tear down the motor, maybe sell it for about, you know, 40 to 50 bucks, recoup about half of what I paid, and I'll have myself a really good platform for an electric speed car, I guess you would call this. I mean, this thing is set up to go pretty fast. It's really well planted. The suspension, soft. You see that? I haven't done any work at all on this so far. These old HPI shocks are just so good. All you gotta do is, you know, just refill them with, you know, whatever weight shock oil you want. I usually like to use about 50 to 60, and it'll be firm enough. There's one odd thing I did notice about this. So when I kind of spin the car forward, there is some gear mesh issue. So it looks like the spur gear is just too close to the actual clutch bell. So you know what, I thought about adjusting it, but then I noticed that the engine has no motor blocks. There's no motor mount. Look at this, absolutely no motor mount right here. So the chassis is basically just screwed straight into the chassis plate itself. You see these wide screws? This is the adjustability of the motor itself, so it's supposed to slide in and out. You know what? This is building a case here for going brushless conversion way already. Let's check out what the inside of the motor looks like. Hopefully I could unscrew the motor head screws. These screws stripping is usually about the worst thing that could happen. Hopefully that doesn't happen to me now. Okay, looks like it was really tight, but it's spinning. That's a good sign. Got this last one left right here. Okay, that one wasn't in that much. Okay guys, the coolant head is about to come off. Let's see what it looks like in there. Okay, it looks, you know what, I've seen much better. This is not the cleanest I've seen, but it seems to have relatively good compression. I did try to spin the actual flywheel before, and it was fine. I'm sure I can soak this in some WD-40, and most of this will come out. I've seen way worse motors than this, and you know what? Some WD-40 cleaned it right up. Other than that, the piston itself looks pretty normal. I don't see any scuffs on top. There's no chips in the piston or sleeve. This thing should run. Another interesting decision I've noticed are these screws. I'm going to point with this WD-40 spray can. Look at how long the screw is coming out of the back of this roto start back plate. It's really long. I mean, nothing wrong with that. That's probably why the owner got rid of this motor mount right here, because this is normally where it goes. They could have just used a cutoff wheel to, you know, reduce the size of this screw, but they're pretty much huge on every single side. Not a big deal. I can just, you know, cut this off or use different screws. I do have a whole bunch of screws. Other than that, you know what? Look at that. I have it soaking in some WD-40. Seems okay as I spin the motor. See those bubbles at the bottom? There is some compression. So, you know, even with the cooling head off, it seems fine. But there it is, guys. Thanks so much for watching. If you want to see me convert this to an electric system, put in the comments. If you want to see me get this nitro motor up and running, also put that in the comments. I usually do what you guys ask of me. For me, either way, something's going to happen here. So